The next hand we have 8s here. And we just flat Alba from under the gun. And now we have a 4-way pot. He bets a 10th of the pot, and I'm pretty much just trying to hit an 8 since the turn's never going to get checked to me usually. So I just fold, especially with 8-10 of clubs being able to raise still. And the turn, he bets big and both fold. Get pocket 4s in the small blind here and have a different raiser, but Max comes along as far flat. And pretty much just going to try and hit a 4 here in this type of situation, and especially on that board, I'm not going to try and check raise or anything without any equity. And give it up. Open Jack-10 suited, defends the big blind. But a little bit over half pot, he calls. Turn a bit, a little bit under 2/3, and I'm pick up a flush draw. I'm betting a bit bigger because I'm going to probably be barreling this card a decent bit ahead of the pot. And we're also quite deep. And he just folds the turn. About an orbit or so later, blinds have gone up, and we open King Jack off under the gun. 8-10 of clubs 3-bets us, and probably was just going to give it up in this position after folding about 10 hands here. And 8-10 of clubs ends up having King Queen off and gets there. We just fold King 10 off here. Under the gun 1, could raise it as well. Get aces, we raise it up. Get 4 callers. And I see bet a little, just about half pot. Pretty wet texture, but it's a 5-way pot, so I guess I could probably bet a little bit bigger here. You get 1 call from under the gun 1, and I think my read at the time was I don't think he's a regular, but he definitely could be. But I turned an ace on this board, which could be a bad thing if he has Jack-10, obviously. So either way, I think there's still some flush draws and 2 pairs that he's probably not going to want to fold to me anyway, because people don't really like to fold. So I'm just going to bet this turn, and if he raises, I'd have to reevaluate. And he just calls. And on this river, I think still with top set, there's certainly other sets he could have in 2 pairs that I'm just going to bet fold most likely, and maybe bet call, but against most people in this spot, I think it's definitely a bet fold. I choose to bet 7,400 here. I think I should probably bet a little bit smaller against people who I think are pretty good, and otherwise against the random, I think this is okay, and just hope to get max value from whatever he would want to call with, and assume that he's only going to shove really Jack-10. Like, he shouldn't really shove kings or queens or whatever if you flatted this pre, just because I could have Jack-10. And he folds. We take the pot. Get ace-jack here in the next hand, and MJW opens the big blind, or the button, with about 26 big blinds or so. And I have ace-jack in the big blind, so I'm just going to 3-bet call, and King 4-bets, ace-4 off, and ends up getting there. Oh well. We fold 2 hands and get queens on the cutoff, and Are You Pretty Girl opens. So we 3-bet her, intending to get it in, and she just folds. Next hand we have King Jack of Diamonds, and MJW opens, and he's opening wide, and Zivago flats, 30 big blinds. So there's no real reason to 3-bet here. I can just flat and play, hopefully in position with suited Broadway. Flop's pretty dry, and he bets into both of us when we could definitely have queens. It's not to say that he can't be late, but Zivago flats in as well, and at this point I just have no equity, and there's no real reason to stay in the pot, so I fold.